Want to know the latest and hottest music hitting the airwaves? Don't be left out. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. Keith keeps you on the loop with everything you need to know from pop, rock, hip-hop, and the top 40. And we'll throw in news of your favorite artists, concert and tour dates, and so much more. Listen no further, because this is the gold standard in music podcast.
Greetings. People of Earth and the known universe, you're listening to Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. I'm your Captain Keith. Yeah, Marianne used to call me that. We're gonna go with that. Yeah, Captain Keith. That sounds good. Yeah, that's me. And today we have 4 different records to review. Some great stuff. Indie rock group called Blues Lawyer, Seun Kuti in Egypt 80, Janelle Monae, and J. Cole. So Blues Lawyer's album is called Guesswork. Seun Kuti in Egypt 80, their new album is called Black Times. Janelle Monae's new record is called Dirty Computer, and J. Cole's new album is called KOD. So yes, so looking forward to that. Indie rock, Afrobeat, world music, R&B, pop, soul, and hip hop. That's the hour ahead for you. Yes. And let's get right into it, folks. Janelle Monae, new album, Dirty Computer. This is Janelle Monae's 4th studio record. The opening track is called Dirty Computer, and the song starts off with like Miss Monae singing in a low, almost hushed tone. She has rock and roll legend Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys harmonizing in that classic Beach Boys style in the background while she sings about what it means to be a dirty computer, which is also another word for girlfriend or boyfriend who can admit to having faults and admit to being a little bit broken. The song's also about the need for love and acceptance, faults and all. I mean, the dirty computer loves you, but can you love him or her back? That's the question. And we'll get into the lyrics of that song, the intro. Dirty computer, walk in line. If you look closer, you'll recognize I'm not that special. I'm broke inside, crashing slowly. The bugs are in me. And then verse 2 is dirty computer breaking down, picking my face up off the ground. I love you in this space and time, because baby, all I ever be is your dirty computer. Dirty computer. I mean, it's a catchy song. It's a great way to start off the record, and it sets the tone and the pace of the album. Searching for someone to fix my life. Text message caught up in the sky. Oh, if you love me, won't you please reply? Oh, can't you see that it's only me, your dirty computer? And then that chorus repeats over and over again. Dirty computer, your dirty computer. Yeah. And then it ends with, I'll love you in this space and time. So, it has a great subtle bass line and drums that drive a futuristic vibe to set the tone, like I said, for the whole record. So I like that. Crazy Classic Life is another song. It's a pop song from Janelle Monae that has a steady bass and synth pop feel. And the song is about Janelle Monae just wanting to have fun with her friend by, partying hard, not having a care in the world while they do it. The song starts off with a male vocal referencing a quote from Thomas Jefferson that that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Also used later on. But this male voice is referencing the quote. He says, you told us we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, and that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and then there's a pause, the pursuit of happiness. Once the reference is finished, the song goes into a synth dance pop anthem for being young, wild, and free. I mean, the song takes a dark turn towards the end when Janelle Monae realizes the double standard in regards to how she gets treated as a black female versus how her friend, who is her white male counterpart, and how he gets treated. The disparity in the criminal justice system and the economics involved as well. Janelle Monae raps this verse instead of singing it. And she says, handcuffed in the bando, white boy in his sandals, police like a Rambo, blow it out like a candle, Sambo. Me and you was friends, but to them we the opposite, the same mistake. I'm in jail, you on top of stuff. You living life while I'm walking around mopping stuff. Tech kid, backpack. No, you a college kid. All I wanted was to break the rules like you. All I wanted was someone to love me too. But no matter where it was, I always stood out. Black Waldo dancing with the thick brows. We was both running naked at the luau. We was both on shrooms praying face down, waist down. Remember when they told you I was too black for you? And now my black popping like a bra strap on you. I was kicked out, said I'm too loud. Kicked out, said I'm too proud. But all I really ever felt was stressed out. Kind of like my afro when it's pressed out. Wow. Yeah. Good lyrics. I like that whole verse. I mean, her rhymes were on point, but I found myself wishing that she would have allowed someone else to rhyme that instead of her. I mean, the song starts off strong, but doesn't end that way because of her choice to rhyme the outro verse instead of singing it or letting an actual MC perform it for her. Yeah, I did want to mention that. Take a Bite, it's another song on this record. It's a straight up guilty pleasure song. I mean, Janelle admits to not being the girl next door that you take home to mom. She also acknowledges that she knows that you don't want to love her and want her, but deep down you do anyway. So let me back that up. So she realizes that you don't want to like her, you don't want to love her, and you don't want to want her, but you do anyway. So she invites you to take a bite, and that's B-Y-T-E, like at the computer bite. So double entendre, I can dig it, because it feels so good for both of you. So, and she goes on and she sings, I'm not the kind of girl you take home to your mama. Now I tell you no lies. I tell you no lies. Your code is programmed not to love me, but you can't pretend. Oh, what a surprise. Maybe it's lust, maybe it's love, maybe it never ends. Ooh, say your goodbyes. Say them now. Play in my hair and nibble there on my mocha skin. Yeah, just take a bite. So yeah, I like this song. It's kind of hard not to. Take a bite, just take a bite. Help yourself. It's all right. It's all right. I won't tell. It feels so good when you nibble on it. Take a bite, just take a bite. Yeah, I know I'm giggling like a school kid. I know it's sad. It's kind of funny. Help yourself. You look so good. Just help yourself. Don't think twice. Don't think twice. I won't tell. So yeah, it's a cool song. I wasn't expecting this song when I heard it, but I like it. It was very clever. Her play on words, using computer, love, and sex, and intertwining them. My random access memory wants you to come again. No, don't say goodbye. Don't say goodbye. I saw my therapist. She thinks you are my magic sin. Oh, maybe she's right. Maybe she's right. Well, I'll just lick an angel just to purify again. Oh, angels are fun. They're so fun. So dress me up. I like it better if we both pretend. Yeah, make love till we're numb. So that song has a nice R&B dance pop feel to it, with Thundercat on bass, and Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys is back, doing some more background vocals. Yeah, like I said, the song is catchy and it's pretty enticing. I like it. The next song on here it's called Screwed, and it features Zoe Kravitz as Lenny Kravitz's daughter. She has her own group called Lola Wolf, for those of you who didn't know. So she's made some music. This is a pop song that has a double entendre as well. Zoe Kravitz and Janelle Monae talk about celebrating their sexuality and how much fun they have in that regard. But they also talk about how the society they live in has been screwing them up and everyone else as well. So, I live my life in the magazine. I live my life on the TV screen. I live my life on birth control. I lost my mind in rock and roll. Okay, I can dig that. The chorus with Janelle and Zoe singing, and I hear the sirens calling and the bombs are falling in the streets. We're all screwed. And it's not perfect, baby, but I go sex crazy, but I feel so screwed. Sex, body, we're going to crash your party. Let's get screwed. I don't care. I used another word, the clean version, mess the world up now. We'll mess it all back down. Let's get screwed. I don't care. We'll put water in your guns. We'll do it all for fun. Let's get screwed. Okay, so I like that. That is definitely talking about, man's need for violence with weapons and guns. So that's interesting. I like the concept of putting water in guns. That was clever. The song is well, I'm gonna tell you about. How do I say this? So, I like the lyrics to this song, but I felt like I wanted the music to be more soulful than what it was. The bridge says, "See if everything is sex, except sex, which is power. You know power is just sex. You screw me and I'll screw you too. Everything is sex, except sex, which is power. You know power is just sex. Now ask yourself, who's screwing you?" So, yeah, I mean, lyrically, this song packs a punch, like I said, but I didn't really care for the production on this track. I mean, it's got definitely a pop feel. I could see it being played where pop music is played, and being successful. I wanted the music to have more soul to it. I would love to see a hot remix of this song, actually. And I wish that could have been like a bonus track on this CD or record. So, Django Jane is a fierce tune that has Janelle Monae rhyming about what it means to be a black woman in America. The song confronts sexism and the patriarchy of America, and the threat of loss of rights for women in general. The song and video reminds me of Jadena when I saw the video. The song packs the right punch and gets its point across. Don't fear women, just love and respect them. Yeah, that's profound and basic and right to the point. Yeah. Pink is a song celebrating female sexuality. It's a clever pop song that gives the color pink a dual meaning. And it's spelled PYNK, and there's a video for that. And I'll just say that I won't forget seeing that video. It definitely left an impression. Yeah. Make Me Feel is a great funk song that sounds like it could be a sequel to Prince and Revolution's Kiss. Janelle is singing about how good her partner makes her feel. By the time the song is done, you find yourself wanting someone to make you feel just as good as the song does. It's nice. Baby, don't make me spell it out for you. All the feelings that I've got for you can't be explained, but I can try for you. Yeah, baby, don't make me spell it out for you. You keep on asking me the same questions, why, and second guessing all my intentions. Should know by the way I use my compression that you've got the answers to my confessions. It's like I'm powerful with a little bit of tender and emotional sexual bender. Mess me up, yeah, but no one does it better. There's nothing better. That's just the way you make me feel. That repeats. That's just the way you make me feel. So good, so real. So freaking real. Yeah, we'll use that word. It's always fun to censor myself and the adjectives I have to use to do that. That's just the way you make me feel. I love it, so please don't stop it. You got me right here in your jean pocket, laying your body on the shag carpet. I love it, so please don't stop it. It's like I'm powerful with a little bit of tender and emotional sexual bender. Mess me up, yeah, but no one does it better. There's nothing better. I like that verse a lot. It's like I'm powerful with a little bit of tender and emotional sexual bender. I like that. I haven't really seen that before. That was cool. So great song, and Prince did do some production to the song before he passed. So I believe he actually plays a little bit keys on this record. On this particular track. So another reason why it's cool to hear the song and have that sequel to Kiss feel. So off of Prince and Revolution's Parade album, which was the soundtrack to Under the Cherry Moon. So those are the references for you. But yeah, the video is great for this song, and the song is great. It's a great pop R&B song. It's perfectly crafted. I like that. It has a nice futuristic soul vibe to it. This may be my favorite song on the album. Well, it's definitely one of them. The song is a celebration of Janelle Monae waving her freak flag proudly, declaring that she has no problem being left of center, or no matter what some rude boy says, she knows that she is beautiful and that she will keep on doing what she likes. I like that. So yeah, it's a nice song. Sometimes a mystery, sometimes I'm free, depending on my mood or my attitude. Sometimes I want to roll or stay at home. Walking contradiction. Guess I'm factual and fiction. A little crazy, a little sexy, a little cool. Not out to TLC. That's cool. A little rough around the edges, but I keep it smooth. I'm always left to center, and that's right where I belong. I'm the random minor note that you hear in major songs. And I like that. I don't really give a crap if I was just the only one who likes that. I never like to follow all around. The chase is on, oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my. Sometimes a mystery, sometimes I'm free, depending on my mood or my attitude. So sometimes I want to roll or stay at home. Walking contradiction, guess I'm factual and fiction. Yeah, very clever. I like the song a lot. She also states, I don't care what I look like, but I feel good, better than amazing and better than I could. Told the whole world I'm the venom and the antidote. Take a different type of girl to keep the whole world afloat. So, yeah. It's good stuff. It's a good track. It's definitely one of my favorite tracks. Don't Judge Me, towards the end of the album. Yeah. This, it's like I was waiting for this song. It's really good, very soulful. This song has Janelle being very vulnerable about her feelings and insecurities. You know, do you love her persona that the whole world sees, or do you love the woman behind the disguise, / persona? When the cameras and red carpet aren't there, will you be there with your love, or is it all just a show? If I reveal all of myself to you, will you judge me or love me? I think all of us human beings may kind of have those type of thoughts sometimes. Come let me kiss you right there. Wake you up like sunrise on the backs of your thighs. I'm going to pray you this prayer that I keep in my mind as a lovely reminder. Even though you tell me you love me, I'm afraid that you love my disguise. Taste my fears and light your candle to my raging fire of broken desire. But don't judge me. I know I got issues, but they drown when I kiss you. Don't judge me. Baptize me with ocean. Recognize my devotion. The water's perfectly blue. Let's reintroduce ourselves from a free point of view. If I'm going to sin, it's with you. Tattoo your love on my heart. Let the rumors be true. So, yeah. I know I got issues, but they drown when I kiss you. But don't judge me. Baptize me with ocean. Recognize my devotion. What if I touched you right there? Even though you say that you love me, is it me or do you love my disguise? If I missed you, would you think I was lonely? If I say what's on my mind, even though you say that you love me, is it me or do you love my disguise? If I kissed you, would you think I was lonely? If I let you inside? This album, so I could talk some more about this record. I do like the record. There's also a song on here called Stevie's Dream, and it's a great inspirational and spiritual message that has Stevie Wonder's vocals playing over a keyboard arrangement that is very reminiscent of Stevie Wonder's playing style that goes back to like the Songs in the Key of Life or Secret Life of Plants. It's a nice interlude that you don't really expect to hear. What I like about this record is the soulful introspection of Janelle Monae's lyrics and the concept of a human being being a dirty computer. Either you love the dirty computer and appreciate it for all that it's worth, or you don't. When Miss Monae shifts some of her songs to a more pop production, some of the lyrics are still consistently great, but the production can sound a bit hollow to me. So on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best, I give Janelle Monae's Dirty Computer a 6.5. Now, my favorite tracks are Dirty Computer, Take a Bite, Make Me Feel. I like that. Stevie's Dream, and Don't Judge Me. And we'll be back with more reviews after this break.
Always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
And welcome back to Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. I'm your host, Keith, also known as Captain Keith. See how that, yeah. And the next review we have is Seun Kuti and Egypt 80, Black Times. So, where we start off, Seun Kuti is the youngest son of Afrobeat legend and revolutionary Fela Ransom Anikulapo Kuti. Seun is now fronting his late father's band, Egypt 80. Seun's new record picks up where his father left off, speaking on oppression, colonialism, independence, and freedom. The Afrobeat sound is a rich tribal sound of Africa combined with powerful and intense jazz horn rhythms. The album starts off with a track called Last Revolutionary, featuring Robert Glasper on keys. Egypt 80's trumpets shine and soar on this song, with the saxophones taking a back seat. The bass and percussion lay in the background. The distant guitar and bass rhythms intoxicate and drive you. The song has a slow burn intensity that works. It's actually quite haunting how much Seun Kuti sounds like his late father, Fela Kuti. It's also very refreshing at the same time. I mean, this song is Seun Kuti's a call to musical and lyrical arms, so to speak. He lets you know that there is much work to be done and that he follows his revolutionary forefathers in being self-aware in that regard. So, you know, he talks about the authentic leaders of the past within the song, present and future. He name checks homegrown African heroes, revolutionaries, and freedom fighters like Kwame Nkrumah, Thomas Sankara, and Patrice Lumumba. It's a great song, great way to start the album. And when you look at the album, the cover of it has a Seun's face on the front, and it's kind of like he's got a beret on, and he's got a cigar in his mouth, and it seems like parts of his face have been like cut into pieces. And I forgot to mention to you, Janelle Monae's cover for her new album has it's her face on the front, and she's got like this like crystal veil covering her most of her face, with the exception of her eyes, and then the back of her head is like it seems like a crown from one of those pictures you see with Jesus Christ standing, and so it's got like a religious symbolism to it when you see it. It's very interesting. Cover art for both of them is nice. So with Seun, you know, he states that I be the silence of the enemy, the lost pages of we history, the roots of my family tree, the noise of our victory. I be the memory of every fallen warrior. I be the walking, talking struggle of my people till we free. You and me, them no go see the last revolutionary. Yeah, I mean, the song has it starts off slow, but it burns bright, and it's got a nice punch to it. And the whole album just kicks into gear. So, Black Times features Carlos Santana on guitar. That's the title track of the album. The song is about understanding your black history and heritage and realizing that once you do, it becomes obvious that you've never been free. But now that you have the understanding, you can educate the young children so that they will have knowledge of self, so they can be free and be the and be the god and goddess that they were always meant to be. Carlos Santana's guitar solo complements Egypt 80 perfectly on this track. It's a good fit. So when we talk about Afrobeat music, I mean, the best way I can describe that sound, just from my perspective and take on it, is basically like having fast-paced jazz music that you can dance to, that is also very tribal at the same time. I mean, that's like the best way I can describe it. I mean, yeah, it's world music, but it's just, yeah, like I said, it's jazz. It's just fast-paced, and it's got a boom to it. It's like the only time you can like dance fast to jazz music. Otherwise, traditional jazz music, you're slow dancing to, but not the Afrobeat. So yeah, it's a great style and genre of music, and I look forward to it's becoming more popular here in the States. Corporate Public Control Department, CPCD. Great harmonies from the background singers on this track. You know, this is about, the description for this is every few years politicians come. They come from the left, they come from the right. I mean, this is within the lyrics of the song. I give them my vote and them abuse it. New government, new excuses. You promise to give me peace, you give me war. You know, You promised me justice and only jail the poor. You promised jobs and you closed the factory, but there's always work in the penitentiary. Deep. Yeah, it's a great song about politicians being full of crap universally. I mean, that's my take on it, from what Seun is doing. It doesn't matter if you are in Africa or anywhere else in the world. Lies and fake promises, all for your vote. That's the message that I get after hearing that song. African Dreams. It has a nice, mellow and slow flow to it. The African percussion and saxophone stand out in an amazing way. I mean, they anchor the song itself. The song is about how the African youth has been misled and distracted by materialism and stereotypes. All that glitters is not silver and gold. Beware of foreign gods and foreign corporate boards. Too many of youths lost to television chasing the American dreams. Too many of the youths believe in the hype, living in a stereotype. Tell me who they live for Africa. The knowledge is free and they know by that. Blind to the exploitation of my brothers and sisters for gold and silver. Blind to the killing of my people for foreign gods and foreign corporate boards. We need to know the duty of Africa. They upon the children every time. So, yeah, I mean, this is a great album. It sounds splendid, and I mean, the production is great. The music is hard hitting and it's booming, and it's stimulating and it's invigorating. I mean, it's all those things. And then, as you can hear, I mean, the lyrics are not for the faint of heart. Seun definitely has a message, and he's definitely a Kuti, definitely. Struggle, another song. That song has a pulsing drum beat that starts off the song with the low end sounds of the baritone saxophone that follow. The bass line gives a busy rhythm that drives the song. Seun sings and declares that he never sees his blessings in man-made things, just the true essence of a human being. He goes on to sing, that's why I make that struggle music for the voice of the people, because the bigger picture needs more color. And I couldn't agree more. Yeah, that's a good sentiment. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so the theory, so another song on here is called The Theory of Goat and Yam, and it ridicules a homily invented by a former Nigerian president, Goodluck Jonathan, who justified corruption by likening politicians to goats tempted by yams. By taking money meant for a hospital or to build roads, they're actually costing human lives. So, I mean, he wrote a song about that, and he's making fun of that parable. Seun Kuti's and Egypt 80's Black Times is like one of the most intriguing and spirited albums of the year. I mean, Bob Marley's kids are not the only ones preserving a rich musical legacy and heritage from their father's music. Seun Kuti is doing the same, and he has definitely picked up with where his father Fela has left off. And the man does it. It sounds amazing, and it's right on time. So, and by the way, Seun's older brother Femi Kuti, he makes great Afrobeat music as well. So Femi and Seun are Fela's children making great Afrobeat music. But yeah, this review is about Seun's album. He's coming to his own, definitely. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best and 1 being the worst, I give this album a 10. And my favorite tracks on this record are, Last Revolutionary, featuring Robert Glasper, Black Times, featuring Carlos Santana, African Dreams, Struggle Sounds, and Bad Men Lighter, BML, and Corporate Public Control, CPCD. Yeah, all these songs have a great bite to them, and they get you going and moving, and get you thinking and grooving at the same time. And if music can do all those things, then it's actually accomplished something. So yeah, definitely Seun Kuti, Egypt 80, Black Times, 10. And we'll be back with J. Cole and Blues Lawyer after this break.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be, visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hello, everyone. Once again, you're listening to Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. And I'm your host, Keith, formerly known as the Captain. Might still be the Captain, not sure. And our next review is J. Cole's new record called KOD. So when this album first came out, I was like, what does KOD mean? What's going on? And what's up with this artwork? So the artwork displays J. Cole painted as a king. I mean, and it remains very relevant to the title of this album. KOD has different meanings, a few of them. King overdosed. The cover art also features children. So the artwork has it's like a painting, and it's got J. Cole as a king, and he's got his like king robe on, and it's halfway opened. And when you look down where it's open, you see these children faces, and they're all like doing something that's drug induced. So KOD also stands for Kids on Drugs, which is also seen on the back cover. And apparently the cover art also shows demons hiding in Cole's robe with the kids, which is also consistent for this KOD also standing for Kill Our Demons. And then right above J. Cole's head, it's in small print, it says, this album is in no way intended to glorify addiction. So what we find out is that this is J. Cole's 5th studio album, and it's the follow-up to For Your Eyes Only. The opening track, which is the intro, has a cool jazz production vibe with the muted trumpet and jazz keys playing. A woman's voice comes on and talks about how a newborn baby initially communicates. So this album is supposed to be an album that addresses the issues of drug addiction, and openly and honestly, and the problem, how it starts, and what can be done to try to battle it and resolve it. So the opening track, KOD, you hear that voice, the lady's voice, and she says, well, you hear J. Cole in the background saying, can someone please turn off my mind? My thoughts are racing all the time. There is no reason or no rhyme. I'm trapped inside myself. Then you hear this lady's voice, and she says in a very calm and gentle tone, a newborn baby has 2 primary modes of communication. And this is all played to great traditional style jazz music that when you hear that trumpet, that muted trumpet, it kind of reminds you of Miles Davis and his trumpet playing. He was great at playing the muted trumpet, that muted sound. He was really good at that. So she says a newborn baby has 2 primary modes of communication: laughter, which says I love this, or crying, which says this frightens me, I'm in pain. Life can bring much pain. There are many ways to deal with this pain. Choose wisely. At the bottom of the hourglass lies sand that represents the past in which all of my demons rest. I'm calling out for help. There are many ways to deal with this pain. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. That saying permeates throughout the whole record. So it's like the theme of the whole album. So I mean, it almost kind of haunts you when you hear it again. So J. Cole produces all of the music on this record, and I can definitely say that the production of this record is amazing. The production is flawless. So I would love to see how he composes his tracks, musically speaking. The title track KOD comes on next, and it's got J. Cole singing the hook first with the low end bass line and drum click like track sound effect. The song rolls into a rolling low end bass sound that expands. J. Cole responds to his fans criticizing his new lifestyle and whether or not he will start putting guest features on his record. The song is catchy and hard hitting. This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a quarter brick, Bentley from his mama's whip, KOD, he hardest. This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a quarter brick, Bentley from his mama's whip, KOD, he's hardest. So, and he says that repetitively, and it's just real catchy when he rhymes that. The cadence is smooth. Wow, brothers been cramping my style, blowing my high, they want to reply. The number one question is how? How does it feel now that you on? How much you worth? How big is your home? How come you won't get a few features? I think you should. How about I don't? How about you go? How about you just go? How about you just get the crap off my back? Well, you will use that word. Or off my jock. So yeah. How about you listen and never forget? Only gonna say this one time, then I'll dip. Brothers ain't worthy to be on my stuff. Haven't you heard? I'm as cold as the tip of the iceberg that tipped the Titanic. No tiptoeing around it. My stuff is gigantic, as big as the freaking Atlantic. I'm lit. Yeah. So, yeah, that's that song. So when you hear the intro, and it's this smooth, this really cool mellow jazz song, and then you go from that to this biting hip hop song where J. Cole comes out swinging, basically, at people criticizing him. It's a cool contrast because you don't know, well, what's going to happen next. So Photograph is a song about J. Cole being infatuated with a woman after seeing her picture on a social media platform. He wants to pursue her and doesn't want his male friends to know about her. He doesn't want to hear their negativity or their hating. And he says, fell in love through a photograph. I don't even know your name. I wonder if you'd follow back. I hope to see you one day. I won't show my boys now. I'll keep this one for myself. Love today has gone digital and it's messing with my health. Yeah, damn, I love your sense of humor. You don't get caught up in rumors. You don't be talking about who's screwing who. And I know it's the way you maneuver, sexy but never show too much. Ain't heard from you like in 2 months. All of a sudden you pop on my line. You could make time. Stop on a dime. I think you mastered the art of sublime. Your type is harder to find. You could turn water to wine. Yeah, you could turn water to wine. I like that symbolism. It's very clever. That's a good song. The Cutoff is a song about J. Cole cutting off people who he once considered friends, but now in retrospect realizes those particular people were not his friends and were just using him. He also talks about the dangers of drug use and excess. And this song features Kill Edward, but it appears that Kill Edward may actually be his alter ego. So once again, J. Cole is he might be the only rapper out right now who's putting out records where there are no guest features. It's just him all the way through. And, some might say that's a true test of an MC. If you can do a hip hop album by yourself and kill it lyrically, then hey, that speaks volumes. So, and then, Kill Edward comes out on this verse. I know heaven is a mind state. I've been a couple times stuck in my ways, so I keep on falling down. And that line repeats. And then, And then Kill Edward says, give me drink, give me smoke, get me high, let me float. I'm a cloud coming down, put me down gentle now. Give me drink, give me dope. Bottom line, I can't cope. If I die, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. What do I say about that? I mean, I've never heard anyone rhyme about drug addiction in that way and openly talk about, there's a drug problem out there. People will do drugs for whatever reason, but no one ever really talks about what leads people to do these things. So it's nice to hear an album that goes into that detail, that talks about how people hurt and how they do anything they can to try to mask that pain. And sometimes they do more harm than good or damage than good. Definitely a good song. ATM, play on words, also means addicted to money. And this is a song about the addiction to money that persists in America and how that addiction is a drug itself. And J. Cole has a money counting machine playing in the background of the song. It's pretty cool. Materialism at all costs due to the obsession with counting and collecting stacks of money. I mean, this song is profound, catchy, and it's a legitimate club track all at the same time. The music video is also worth watching as well. The video was real cool. I liked it. Life can bring much pain. There are many ways to deal with this pain. Choose wisely. Here we go. That theme I was talking about. Will I fall? Will I fly? Heal my soul. Fulfill my high. Cross my heart. Count, 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 count. And hope to die with my slice. Count, count, count of devil's pie. Count it up, count it up, count it up, count it up. So that's him counting the money. Yeah. I know that it's difficult. I'm stacking this paper. It's sort of habitual. I blow the residual. And screwing your girl, it's like it's a part of my ritual. Pardon the visual, but money, it gave me a heart on. It's typical. I want it in physical. $1 million, I count up in intervals. Without it, I'm miserable. Don't want to fall off, so I'm all in my bag, thanking God like it's biblical. I know it's going to solve every problem I balled on the principal. Remember the teachers was all up on my butt. Now look, all of them pitiful. So there was a verse I wanted to speak about how you can't take the money with you, but it makes you still feel good. He says that in the song too, for ATM. Good song. Kevin's Heart, probably my favorite song on the album. It's a great song about infidelity and realizing that cheating on the one you love is not worth the risk. The song also talks about how easy it is to stroke a man's ego and how easily he can fall into temptation because of it and his selfishness. The song is a great example of self-reflection in regards to the male ego and learning from the error of your ways and taking responsibility for your actions and realizing that sooner or later there will be repercussions to your cheating. The music video stars Kevin Hart and it's a must see. I was surprised when I saw that video because when I heard the song, I hadn't seen the video yet. I'm like, is he talking about Kevin Hart? And then I saw the video. I'm like, oh, he's talking about Kevin Hart because it's Kevin's, apostrophe S possession Hart, Heart. So she my number one. I don't need nothing on the side. Said that I was done for good and don't want no more lies. But my phone be blowing up. Temptations on my line. I stare at the screen a while before I press decline. But she plants a seed and it still lingers in my mind. Told myself I'm strong enough to shake it and I'm trying. But I'm only human. I know loving you's a crime. If I take this cookie now, one day I'll do the time. I mean, there's nothing else to say. I mean, there it is. So yeah, that's my favorite track on this album. I like it a lot because you don't hardly ever hear people talking about, you've got, people talk about infidelity, Jay-Z's, 444 and then Beyonce's Lemonade. But I like this song, Kevin's Heart. And I like that Kevin Hart was like, okay, let me own it. let me do it. Let me do this video, and hey, let me be there and get through it and just, learn from it. So yeah, it was a good song. Yeah. And then, J. Cole directs the video as well, man. He has a small little cameo in it, but the video is funny, intriguing, interesting. It's cool and very poignant. So Brackets is a song about how we Americans are paying for taxation without representation. So, and J. Cole says, yeah, I pay taxes, so much taxes. This stuff don't make sense. Where do my dollars go? You see, lately, I ain't been convinced. I guess they say my dollars supposed to build roads and schools, but my brothers barely graduate. They ain't got the tools. Maybe because the tax dollars that I make, sure I send, get spent hiring some teachers that don't look like them, and the curriculum be tricking them. Them dollars I spend got us learning about the heroes with the whitest of skin. One thing about the men that's controlling the pen that write history, they always seem to white out their sins. Maybe we'll never see a black man in the White House again. I'll write a check to the IRS. My pockets got slim. Damn, do I even have a say about where it's going? Some older brother told me to start voting. I said, democracy is too freaking slow. If I'm giving y'all this hard-earned bread, I want to know. Better yet, let me decide. Trick, it's 2018. That's not what he said, but we'll use that word. Let me pick the things I'm funding from an app on my screen. Better that than letting whack congressmen I've never seen dictate where my money go, straight into the palms of some money-hungry company that makes guns that circulate the country and then wind up in my hood, making bloody clothes. Straight bullet hit a young boy with a snotty nose. From the concrete, he was probably rose. Now his body froze, and nobody knows what to tell his mother. He did good at the white man's schools, unlike his brother, who was lost in the streets all day, not using rubbers. So right now, he got 2 on the way. Still sleep on covers in his mama's house. She can't take this crap no more. She want him out. On the morning of the funeral, just as she's walking out, wiping tears away, grabbing her keys and sunglasses, she remembers that she got to file her taxes. Damn. More with J. Cole after this break. And then we get into Blues Lawyer.
Watching TV has changed over time. Streaming has become the new norm. That's why Golden State Media Concepts television podcast dives headfirst to the world of cord cutting. Want to be on the loop of what's hot in Netflix? Or if it's not a preference, what about original shows in Hulu? We've got you covered. Join us as we fill in the blank and talk about movies to stream and what show you should be binging. This is the Golden State Media Concepts television podcast.
Greetings, people of Earth. You're listening to Golden State Media Concepts music podcast. Captain Keith. And we just finished talking about J. Cole's KOD. Well, we're almost done talking about that. It's one more thing I want to talk about with that record. Yes. And then we'll get on to rock and roll group, Blues Lawyer, indie rock group. And I'm looking forward to talking to you about that record. So J. Cole's KOD. So there's a song called Friends, and this song, it brings J. Cole's KOD full circle. The MC talks about his friends being hooked on drugs and why it's important for them to break free. He also eloquently breaks down how this happens to people in the first place. He profoundly offers the solution of meditating instead of medicating. The message and song are both just very powerful. So, cop another bag and smoke today. He says that over several times in the opening verse. And then his alter ego killed Edward. I got thoughts, can't control, got me down, got me low. Rest my mind, rest my soul. When I blow. Am I wrong? Let them know. Feels so right to let things go. Don't think twice. This is me. This is how I should be. I wrote this crap to talk about the word addiction to my brothers. I hope you're listening, and I hope you're listening. This is for the whole freaking Ville. I hope you're listening smoky medical grade, but I ain't got prescription. All the way in Cali where they ain't got precipitation. Feeling like the only one that made it, and I hate it for my brothers because they ain't got ambition. Screw did you expect? You can blame it on condition. Blame it on crack. You can blame it on the system. Blame it on the fact that 12 got jurisdiction to ride around in neighborhoods that they ain't ever lived in. Blame it on the strain that you feel when daddy missing. Blame it on Trump crap. Blame it on Clinton. Blame it on trap music and the politicians. Or the fact that every black boy want to be Pippin, but they only got 12 slots on the Pistons. Blame it on the rain, Milli Vanilli with the disc skip. What I'm trying to say is blame can go deep as seas. Just to blame them all, I would need like 20 CDs. There's all sorts of trauma from drama that children see. Type of crap that normally would call for therapy. But you know just how to go in our community. Keep that crap inside. It don't matter how hard it be. Fast forward, them kids is grown and they blowing trees and popping pills due to chronic anxiety. I've been saw the problem, but stay silent because I ain't Jesus. This ain't no trial. If you desire, go higher, please. But screw that now. I'm older. I love you because you're my friend. Without the drugs, I want you to be comfortable in your skin. I know you still keep a lot of crap in. You running from yourself. You buying product again. I know you say it helps. And no, I'm not trying to offend, but I know depression and drug addiction don't blend. Really distorts, and then you get lost in the wind. And I done seen the combo take brothers off the deep end. One thing about your demons, they bound to catch up one day. I'd rather see you stand up and face them than run away. Yeah. So that's a great song. Like I said, it brings the whole addiction problem full circle within this album. J. Cole's KOD is a concept album about the dangers of drug addiction, how that addiction can affect anyone. The MC implores his listeners to choose wisely, and J. Cole did when he made this record. The production on this record is flawless. On a scale of 1 to 10, this album gets an 8. Favorite tracks are Intro, KOD, Photograph, The Cutoff, featuring Kill Edward, ATM, and Kevin's Heart. So there we go with that. And now, Blues Lawyer, indie rock group. Yeah, I've been looking forward to talking about this. So their album is called Guessworks, their first album, and let's go over a description of who they are. They're out of Oakland, California. Blues Lawyer is Rob I. Miller from a group called Mall Walk, Elise Schrock from a group called The World, Nick Russo, aka Dick Stuso, and Alejandra Alcala from Preening. They were founded in Oakland last year at the edges of these more formalized projects. Blues Lawyer launched as an outlet for friends Robin and Elise to air their romantic woes over shared pop sensibility. Originally, the two had planned it as a comically brief experiment. So they planned to make this just a fun record, nothing too serious. And they only planned on doing like maybe 2 shows, but it morphed into something much more. They describe it as tragic and hilarious romantic encounters. So I like that. Rob and Elise first met as co-workers at a record store in 2012, where they bonded over bands from the Flying Nun label, such as Clean and the Bats, which surfaced in the music the two now make together. So, okay. So this was the brainchild of Rob and Elise. So that's cool. Cool to know. Elise does vocals and plays drums. Rob sings and plays guitar. Alejandra plays bass, and Nick Russo, aka Dick Stuso, plays guitar. And this album will officially be out looks like May 4th. So where do I start? This album, Unstable, is the first track, and it seems to be a song about the end of an unstable relationship. It's a good quick song. I guess my only complaint that the song should be longer, but it works perfectly. Trash on the table, trash on my bed. All that trash you talked has littered my headlines. Don't judge me, I won't judge you. You know, I know that you're unstable too. Texting you strange things, texting again. Are we over now or did we begin? It does hurt to try, so don't ask me to. I mean, the song is real catchy. Yeah, so Blues Lawyer has a less is more feel with the production. It's indie rock. Still trying to figure out what that term means, actually. I mean, so indie rock is basically rock and roll that it's not necessarily mainstream, doesn't have a mainstream production. Sometimes it has a sparse feel to it or a specific type of sound and texture and tone to it. This album does have a specific type of style and texture and tone to it. It definitely has a less is more feel. It's hard to describe. It's just, when you hear it, it's just really good. Well, let me go into some more songs. Pretend is a great song that starts off with a stripped down melodic guitar. Rob comes in with his vocals that have a sad blues feel to them as he eventually sings that he wishes that what happened was pretend. At least his background vocals on this track give a lighter tone to the song, which makes for an interesting or an intriguing contrast from within the song with the two and how they interplay with it. And the lyrics are, you know, you're sure this one's about you. You whisper to a friend, none of this is really true. It's all pretend. It's all pretend. I saw you in the streetlight waiting on a car. You were right in front of me, but never seemed so far. That says a lot. And then you said you're sorry, but nothing really happened. That doesn't make much sense to me. Will you please just leave? Will you please just leave? Okay, I guess I'll leave. Goodbye. I wish it was pretend. So you said you're sorry, but you didn't mean it. That's what I'm getting from it. And, you know, you're telling your friend that, oh, he's making all that up. And Rob is singing, I wish I was, but I'm not. It's a good song. Waste is a nice track too. I want to waste time. I want to waste with you. I want to lie down. I want to lie with you. All we know are bad TV shows. That's it. So that might be like the only like love song on this record. This album it has themes of love that lost, love lost. Let me say that love lost, the end of love, the end of a relationship, and yearning to be with somebody, and frustrations with romantic entanglements and the desire to be a real cool guy. So when I hear that song, real cool guy, it reminds me of the group Sonic Youth. It has that type of feel to it between Rob singing and Lisa singing, how they interplay with each other on this song, you know. So he says he can bring you flowers. He don't mess around. He can talk for hours. He don't mess around. He doesn't like to play games. Always speaks his mind. He doesn't like to rush things. Always takes his time. And then Elise sings, do you know John? Rob's like, yeah, I know. I know John. What about Steve? Yeah, I know Steve. He's a real cool guy. I mean, it's just very sardonic. It's just very sarcastic and funny. And he's got a great job. He likes to exercise. He's very cultured. You can see it in his eyes. Is it too much to ask, what about me? Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs in the album. It's I've never lyrically heard that take before in a song. You know, propping somebody else up, kind of, sort of, but actually wanting to be like, hey, what about me? Don't forget me. Indoor Kids, I like that song a lot too. I like the melody and the textures with the guitar on that song. It reminds me, so Okay, so this album, when you see the press release in the bio from what they said about the influences and musically speaking when they made this record, well, here's what they said, and I like it, but I didn't necessarily hear what they were seeing, and that's the beauty of music in itself. So basically, they say that this album combines like a punk-like pace and concision with a measure of pop sentiment and wit, eliciting comparisons to bands such as Television, Personalities, The Vaselines, and Wire. And that's true. So definitely. And that's a great way to describe their music. That's probably the best way. I'll let them say it. I hear some other stuff when I listen to it, and I know it makes me feel good. It makes me smile, and it's upbeat. It's depressingly upbeat record. When I hear this record, though, what comes to mind for me is songs, and let me be more specific. So, Turf, love that song. It has a great 80s new wave feel to it that reminds me of The Waitresses. It's one of my favorite tracks. It's brief and perfect, and my only complaint once again is that it's too short. Just the way just the whole way the song is played reminds me of that feel from The Waitresses. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, they sang the famous song "I Know What Boys Like," and they also did "Square Pegs," which was a brief TV show that Sarah Jessica Parker starred in before Sex and the City. So I get that from that song. I get that influence. And Real Cool Funny Guy reminds me of Sonic Youth, but it also kind of reminds me of Velvet Underground a little bit. And Indoor Kids, I don't know why, but when I hear that song, it just reminds me of Sonic Youth in a very good way. So I hear influences like Sonic Youth and The Waitresses when I hear Blues Lawyer. But there's other stuff in here. But what's cool about this record, the way it's written lyrically, like I said, it's kind of a sad and depressing album, and in one sense, lyrically, when you hear Rob singing, but the music contrast is so upbeat and intense. And then when Elise sings with him, it's a whole different layer. Like I said, she has a lightness and an air quality to it that makes everything sound okay. Like everything's going to be fine. Like it's bad, but it's not really bad, even though it might be. And I like that about this record a lot. It's really cool. My favorite tracks are Unstable, Waste, Turf, Lost in Germany, Pretend, and I Tried, and Real Cool Guy. But most of the album, I like every song on this record for the most part. And I Tried has Elise singing, and it's just guitar, and it's almost like a country rock ballad. It's almost, and it works though. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The more you know, I try to get you off my mind. It's just the way I feel. Can't be that big of a deal. Why can't we just pretend? I never said anything. I try to run, I try to hide. You'll probably never know how much you're on my mind. It's just the way I feel. Can't be that big of a deal. Why can't I just pretend you'll be there in the end? That's a good question. Just guitar and Elise, and it's stripped down and it's powerful and it works. But the whole album is great. It's very dark and witty at the same time. It's a great record. Blues Lawyer. And you can find this album. So it's shared between Emotional Response and Vacant Stare Records. Emotional Response has put out the LP, the vinyl, and Vacant Stare Records has put out the cassette and the digital download. So you can get that from Bandcamp and Vacant Stare. And you can also go to Emotional Response. But yeah, it's a good record. I like it. The music on this record is definitely produced, as I said before, with a less more feel to it. I mean, it doesn't overpower to get its point across. It's an indie rock record with sad, funny, and ironic pop sensibilities that leave you wanting more. So, as I said before, 10 out of 10, definitely. Blues Lawyer, Guesswork, must have, pick it up, you'll like it. Yeah. And we'll see if we can get an interview with Blues Lawyer and some other groups. And once again, thanks again for listening to Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. It's Captain Keith. Thank you, people of the universe and Earth, known universe and people of Earth. Yes, that's what I meant to say. And I will see you somewhere out in space.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.